Katie, it was a pretty impressive weekend for Whitworth Volleyball, winning at Pacific Lutheran and at Puget Sound. Uh, you've separated yourselves, at least for now, from the rest of the conference. Talk about how we played this weekend and what that means.
It was such a fun weekend. We knew going into it, it was going to be our toughest weekend yet. And so I think all week we were really preparing, both in kind of our technical play on the court. We wanted to work to be really disciplined in the small details of the game. We really felt like if we were to win the passing and the serving game, that we would likely be successful. And then on the other side of it, really working to have that mental fortitude, that toughness, and knowing that it always is an emotionally charged game. Both games are, and with lots of distractions, lots of things happening, on their home courts. And so I just really wanted to make sure our team was focused on each other, focusing on our team and what we could control on our side of the net. And was just really impressed and proud of our girls' resiliency, being able to work through maybe some challenging or adverse moments. I mean, I felt like at the beginning we played maybe a little bit tight, missed some serves, some unforced errors, and then having to lose that first set against PLU just by 2 and having had match point or set point rather, and then them coming back and winning. I think that was the adverse moment for us right there. Like, how are we going to respond in this moment? And so proud of how they did in a really hard fought game and coming out victorious, and then taking that momentum into Saturday night's game against UPS, and knowing that they were both kind of emotionally and mentally and physically fatigued. That's often really, really hard to come back and put together a really consistent performance. And the fact that they did that, I was so incredibly proud of them.
These last 4 victories have something in common, in that once the Pirates got to 2 sets, you've really come out and played your best volleyball in that clinching set, and one going away. That killer instinct, in effect, is that driven by senior leadership? Is that where does that come from?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. I would say yes. I think it is driven by our senior leadership and our upperclassmen's experience, and just really strong desire and commitment to wanting this season to be our very best and not to underachieve in any way. They've all been a part of really talented programs, but our seniors currently right now have yet to experience that postseason outside of maybe Megan, Cass, and Abby, who were there on that 2021 team. And so I think they're very hungry, they're very driven. They want to always seek for their best and hopefully put together a season where we can find ourselves in a position to contend in the tournament at the end of the season. So I think that's where it comes from. They just they have these goals, and they certainly aren't looking forward past any moment. I think they're just very committed to focusing in on this journey and the process and getting better each night.
You're going to head right back out on the road this weekend. Start the second round of conference matches at George Fox and Pacific. In what way might those teams be different or better than when we saw them the first time?
Well, I think they're definitely going to be better because we saw them at the very beginning of conference play, and they were playing on our home court, having traveled. So getting to see them after working through the first round of conference, and also the fact that they are at home and didn't have to travel, I think they very much are going to be, both teams are going to be more consistent and really prepared to compete hard against us. And I think for us, this will be the second weekend in a row on the road, which I always feel like we're a great travel team, a great road team, but it does wear you down. There's some different things you have to think about, certainly. So I think for us, it's going to be navigating kind of more of those intangibles, and as long as we can kind of overcome that, I think we'll be successful.